Hello everyone, welcome back to another class for Degree 6th Semester Economics major, and we will be dealing today with statistics paper, and it will be part 2 of the topic of the chapter which I have started in my last video, that was time series. Hope all of you are fine. We will be starting our topic. In the previous class we have explained what is time series. We have explained the components of time series, the components, the factors that ultimately influence the variations in the time series. Now, just knowing that is not enough. We have to know how the time series information can be used for future prediction or estimation, or what to say, how future variables or future events can be readily assessed or you can predict. So for that reason we have to go for time series, that is measurement of trend. In time series we will have to go for the measurement of trend, what kind of trend the series, the datas are showing, that we have to understand. And today our topic of the discussion will be this. So we will be measuring the trend. There are basically 4 methods: freehand method, which is also called graphical method, semi-average method, moving average method, and method of least square. So today we will be doing these two, freehand method and semi-average method, and these two we will be keeping for our next class. It will be too long to discuss. So all these 4 methods help us to understand or what to say, assess the trend. Now all the methods have some merits and demerits. We will be going to that also. Let us first go to the freehand method, or which is also called the graphical method. Let me erase this. We are measuring the trend. So what to do in the freehand method? See, as I said, time series is a series of statistical information which is arranged chronologically. There will be time, there will be maybe month, maybe year or whatever in one side, and in the other side the variables will be there. So what you can do, this information you can plot in the graph, and accordingly you can assess with the help of this plotted values. You can assess what kind of trend the series is showing. We will be going to that. So for that reason, let us take one example. Let us take year 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, sales. Say sales of a farm, a particular farm, how much it sell, that is given here. 60, 70, 110, 67, 110, 120, 150, 200 and 250. So this is a time series. You can see that the information is arranged chronologically. So if this type of information is given, it may be a odd number or even number. here it is odd number, na, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it may be even also, there may be 6 informations or 8 informations. So if that type of information, if 6 or 8 information is there, you just you will face some problem in case of what to say, semi-average and all other methods. Here you will not be facing any particular problem. So what we are doing, I'm showing it here. I'll be using this data for semi-average also. So there may be hundreds of information. So this side, what you have to do here, let us make the graph like this, so that there is no 10, 20, 30, 40. So I am directly taking it from, it will be difficult. Okay, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, and then 220, 240, like this it will go. Let me not waste time on this. And this side we will be plotting the year, 2013, then 14, okay, then 15, then 16. These are 2000, okay, 2013, 14, 15, 16, like this. So I'm skipping it because it is taking more time. Now what we have to do, just you have to plot information. If I plot 1 and 2, you will understand how to plot it. 2013, the information is 60. 2013, it's a 60. 60 is here. 60. Similarly, 2014, it is 70. 70 is just above 60 and below 80. 70. 15, it is 110. 110, you can find it here. Yeah, 110. So what you do? In this process, you can plot the whole information. Say, now let me make it short. So you get a information like this. You plot your time series on the graph. Now, if you look carefully, it will show a trend. It will show that it's going up. A positive trend. Okay, though if you join all the point, it will be a zigzag line, but don't join like this. What you do, you plot a line which is according to your thinking is the best fit. How? I think this one. It is going through the middle. What is middle? That means the negative deviation, the positive deviations, total should be same. The sum of the deviations should be equal to 0. That means if it is say 3, it is minus 3. If it is say minus 1, it is minus 2. And this one is 3. So minus 1, minus 2, 3, 0. Are you getting my point? So don't write all these things. It's just for your understanding. I could have drawn the line from here also. It is also a positive trend, but that trend will show the maximum values are below that line. In above there will be 1 or 2. So I have taken it from the middle. So in this way you can plot to this 2019. This is the say. So this is the trend and this is the value of 2019. Now 2020, we are in 2020. The year is not still finished. So if we want to know what is going to happen in 2020, depending on the track which has been shown by the various years, though 2020 is not over, yet from this line we can predict some value somewhere here. This line will tell you what is going to happen in the end of 2020. If it is sale, so sale is going to increase. Now you will be in a confusion. You may say that, sir, 2020 the year is not so good because of this virus effect and all these things. So how can you say sale is going to increase? If you take my example seriously, then I will say, okay, while we discuss the various components of trend, last one, irregular variation, the last one will be affecting here. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, the actual sale may fall. But that is unavoidable and that is irregular thing. But as a whole, it is showing a increasing trend. In general term, exceptional cases we are not taking in economics or in prediction in mathematical analysis. We take the general cases. These are the general cases what may happen. So this is the process in which you can estimate the trend line and accordingly predict the future information. Now, so what are the steps we have followed? We have just plotted the time series. We have observed the trend and accordingly we have plotted a straight linear line, which actually it may not be also linear, curvilinear, it may be curvilinear, a line which we think best fit this data. Okay, I'm again saying best fitting means data values above and below as a whole are equal. So this gives us the trend. Now merits, this is very simple, very easy to draw, and what to say, this gives us a rough idea, and it's having some justified ground that it's based on the historical record. What is historical record? What happened in history? What happened previously? On the basis of that we are saying this. We are not saying this of our own. Okay, so that may happen, but the biggest defect of this method is this method is subjective. What does it mean? So if these are the values, okay, these are the informations you have plotted. So I think this is the line which is fitting best. And you say, no sir, this is the line which is fitting best. Now, which one is right? That's a very difficult issue to decide. Now, it's subjective. According to me, what is happening, according to you, what is happening, that may differ. And when it is subjective, on the basis of subjective thing, you cannot make prediction of the future. So the value which you predict is also subjective, and as it is subjective, it is not. It cannot be said purely scientific. So in that case, there may be more variations than expected. So this is the freehand method or graphic method. Now we have seen the defects of this method. Due to the defects, we can take the help of another method, the second method, the method of semi-average. Here it will have some meaning. That means whether you are getting a odd series or even series, that will be one important thing to be determined or to be affecting this information. So if you get say even series, that means in the series there are information of 8 years, so it is very easy. Distribute distribute the total year 4, 4 and proceed. That you can do. Or 6 years, distribute 3, 3. You can proceed. But I have taken a complex situation. Here, number of years are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, how can you distribute? That will be a problem. So, simply you ignore the middle one. The middle one you ignore. If you ignore, then what you will get? This and this, 3 and 3. Okay. Now, what you do in the next step, you take arithmetic mean of the first group. The first group is 60 plus 70 plus 110 by 3. It will be 60, 70, 130, 240. 240 by 3 and it's 80. So, this is the average. I said semi-average. So, it's a average of one part. This is 80. 80 is the average of this part. And the second part, this one, here the average will be, you have to find out, 150 plus 200 plus 250, I think, by 3. 250 by 3. And I think this will be 600 by 3 and this will be 200. Sorry, 600 by, yeah, 200. So, here it is 200. The arithmetic mean here of the second part is 200 and the semi-average of this is 80 and the semi-average of this is 200. So, let me plot it clearly. I can erase this thing, I think. I have shown. So, let me erase it. The space is very small here. 0. 2000. I'm just writing 13. 13 means 12, 13. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The scaling should be same. Here the space, here the space should be same, but due to lack of space, what to say? It's not same here. 20. Okay. Now, what you do? You plot 80 against the middle year of the first series. The first semi-average is 80 of these three information, and middle year is 2014. So 2014, and its value is 80. This one, you can see this. And 17, 18, 19, 200. 18 is 200. 18 and this one 200. So I don't have such a big scale. I do have something like this. Use your scale. Use your scale and sorry. Whatever. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Use your scale and join these two points. So you are joining 80 and 200. Now you get the trend. This is method of semi-average, and accordingly you can now predict for 2020. Okay, and the method is simple. And we actually drop biasness. by doing this. How? Because if I do this thing, this will be the line. If you do this thing, this will be the line. If Mr. X or Y will do this, this will be the line. There will be no change because mathematically we have derived these 2 points. We don't go for subjective plotting of the line. So this is the thing. One small issue I have to mention here. Now, if there are 7 informations, you drop 1, you get 6, so half is 3, 3. Like this example. It's very good, it's very easy. But if suppose there are 9 information, suppose there are 9 information or 5 information, basically 9. If suppose there are 9 information, you drop 1, you got 8. And if you take the half, it will be 4 and 4. If you don't understand, I am saying 2001, 2002, 2003 and 2004. This type of problem may arise in your case also. Now you do all these things, you got 80. In exam, this question come and you got 80 or 70, whatever. That much it was okay. And you remember what sir said? Sir said that plot the value in middle year. Now you are searching the middle year here, and in the middle year you don't get middle year. Now you will be blaming me. Where is the middle year? Because there are 4, no? They are even. The semi-average values are even. So what to do in this case? Very simple. 2002, 1st July. So let us count. January, February, March, April, May, June, 6, half of the year gone. July, 1st July. You say it is 2002. Say it is 2002. So 1st July will be in the middle. Now you plot this value in the middle. I hope you understand. In this case, you don't get a thing. If there are 3 values, 3 years, 2001, 2002, 2003, then you plot the value here. Okay, it's good. It's easy. But when there are 4, where to put? Whether in 2002 or 2003? No, neither in 2002 nor in 2003. In the middle of 2002 and 2003. And what will be that month? That will be July month, 1st of July. The 1st of July will be the middle of the year. So you don't put here the value if it is 1st of July of 2014. So you assume the middle value and you will be doing it in graph, so you will be knowing. Please use graph paper for accurate diagram. If you in exam hall, if you ask for graph paper will be supplied to you. Do this thing in graph paper. So in the graph, you go for the middle month, and in 1st July, according to 1st July, you put the values, put the dot, and after that you join. So I think this problem will be solved. This is not a big deal. This is a very small issue. If we get odd numbers, odd years, then it is very easy to plot the value in the middle. But if it is the even year, then in case we have to go for the year which is confusing. That means the 2 years which are confusing, which one to take. You take the 1st year and it's 6, just cross 6 months. That means 1st of July, and plot the dot, and accordingly you join. Rest of the word is same. From here also you can predict. From there also you can predict. It will help you in prediction. So in this way, by the method of semi-average, you can go for your trend fitting of time series information, time series data. This method has some defects also. This is not free from limitation, though we have said that subjectivity has been out. The first problem is this formula assumes a linear relationship. You see, the relationship is linear. It may not happen. Cell may not increase like this. Cell may increase like this and this and this and that. Okay, so you just taking average of the middle and plotting a value is ignoring the variations. Whether we can take care of the variations or not, we have to see. So this is the first defect of this. The second defect is the defect with arithmetic mean. This defect with arithmetic mean, you got it in your last semester. It gives a importance to extreme values and all these things. Whatever things you got as the defects of the arithmetic mean. All the defects will be applied here. If arithmetic mean is defective, that defect will be applying here, and ultimately the estimation will be defective. So how to improve from this? For this, we can go for method of moving average, and there also we will be getting some problem. The best will be least square method. Least square method will be helpful to eliminate most of the defects, and it will be more acceptable. We'll be coming with method of moving average and method of least square in our next part. Till this we are discussing, we have already finished what is time series, components of time series, and also trend fitting in uses of time series, and we are also watching the methods. We have finished the methods, two methods here of fitting the trend, that is method of freehand method, that is graphical method, and method of semi-average. Two methods are left. We will be doing it in the next class. Please go through your book in SP Gupta or SC Gupta, statistical method, whatever book you follow. These things are quite available. I have followed from it, these things from SC Gupta. If you face problem in the comment section, you send it to me, or if you are students of my college, then you directly text me what are the problems, issues. I'll suggest you to go for some solutions. If it is given in the book, ignore the solution, take the question, do your own solution, and check whether you are able to do it or not. So with this, we are ending here. Stay safe, stay at home. Thank you.